Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to another showing of Just Spontaneous Healthy Meals with VBeautiful. And why I have my energy going, meaning why I am in my creative energies right now, I'm taking full advantage of them, and I am doing what I want to do as far as make the things I like to eat. Okay, even learning from what I'm doing, because some of these things I'm going to show you I'm doing for the first time. I've always wanted to do it, and I made the time to do it. So, how y'all doing today? Let me get right on into it. What we're seeing here in front of us are some nut milks, nut and seed milks. Okay, let's go with the first one in front of me. The first thing in front of me here is black sesame seed milk. Okay, black sesame seed milk. The middle one here is, you know what, a little tricky. Let me pull this up. The middle one is black walnut milk. Okay, black walnut milk. And the last one is pecan milk. I had mentioned in one of my videos that I want to make some pecan milk because I've never made it. And, you know, I have so many pecans and I never see it in the store. You see, one of the milk you never see in the store also is walnut milk. Okay, I'm putting this back in order. Now, y'all see differences in color, so I'm showing you here. This is the pulp from the black sesame seeds, what's left over. This is the pulp from the black walnuts, and the pulp from pecans. This here is the water that I soaked the nuts in, okay, overnight. For the no, this wasn't soaked overnight. This is the black sesame seed water. I soaked those for 30 minutes, and this is the lovely color you got from it. So now you could, of course, discard this by putting it in your garden. Or putting it outside. I'll give it back to the earth. You're not gonna drink it. And this is the blended form of the seeds with fresh water. Okay, this is how it looks still. You can see the seeds probably. Well, there's not very many seeds left. And this is the strained version. And you see it already settling. So you would have to shake this. Of course, most of y'all know that. Okay, but this is the strained version. Going back here now, this is the water left over from the black walnut soaked overnight, and that's a little fat content right there. That is some of the oils that came off the water as it soaked through the night. So that's why it's a very fattening oil, very high oil content, and it's a very good oil, which I need to eat more of. This is the black walnut milk, not strained. And this is the milk strained. As I said, you see it's beginning to settle, separate. It's another word for settle for me. And it's beautiful colors. All of them are beautiful. And next we have the residue from the pecans. Y'all see how they resemble the nuts, their juices. Again, you're not going to drink those juices. You're going to discard them, give it back to nature, And this is the pecan nut milk. And this is more thicker than the black walnuts. Because the fat content in that also has settled. You can see it also in the water that's soaked. The oil's coming up from it. And this is the strained pecan milk. Again, you see it settling, but they're beautiful. So, I am absolutely thrilled with how these milks came out. And I will be using them. I will be using either the pulps in soups, stews, or baking them smoothies or shakes. For most of y'all who are already have been doing this for years, as I have been, y'all know what those good things are for. You won't throw them out. And if you do choose to throw them out, you can give it to your plants or give it back to the earth. Right, give it back to the earth. Okay. So now, this is the first time I made black sesame seed milk. I've been wanting to make it for the longest. I'm glad I did. Because it is so high in iron, and that's probably why it's so dark. Iron, and it has 83% copper, as I mentioned in one of the other videos that I made. It is a very rich seed. As is black walnut. And the pecans. But the more nutritious nuts here are in seeds, it's the black sesame seed and the black walnuts. So, also, and tasting this black walnut milk and the pecan milk is good. It's really good. But I love the black walnut milk is gonna be my favorites because it's one of my favorite nuts anyway because it has such a spectacular different flavor. Y'all gotta excuse me if I wasn't in focus because I just got excited and I wasn't even thinking about what I was doing. I was just thinking about what I was gonna say next. So I got out of focus. Also, yeah, it's one of my favorite milk so far. But like I said, the whole thing is, and they're on the side of me. The nuts are still on the side to me over there. I've been backing some up. So I have plenty of nuts left if I want to, make more milks. Also, yeah, they don't sell the black walnut milk in the store or walnut milk in the store. And they don't sell pecan milk in the store, at least not in my areas. I don't see it. The common milks they have now, nut milks they have now, are, the almond, soy. Those have been the two main staples that's been out for years. Then they came in with cashew milk. Then they came in with, with cashew milk. Then they came in with macadamia. I have seen some macadamia nut milks, and I've seen, of course, also another staple was coconut milk. That's one of the main staples. One of the first milks that's been out. Actually, I go back on that. And then I've seen the hemp seed nut milks. So, and another favorite milk of mine too that's very creamy when I made it is Brazil nut milk. I haven't seen that on the market either. That's a very creamy, delicious nut milk. And that's a very creamy seed milk is pumpkin seeds. I love them also. They have a more of a creamy texture to them also. And like those milks you don't see, on the screen. You don't see. So I'm sorry y'all. I just got someone just sent me a text. So I'm on my phone, so it's gonna come in like that. So it blocked out what I was doing. Yeah, so you know what? These milks here, I did not put any additives in them. The additives meaning I didn't put any sugar, salts, anything like that in them. I didn't put any spices in them. The reason why I'm not going to do that is because I like to taste things in their natural states first before I do anything to get familiar with them. And I love the natural states of things because I don't, like I always say, I don't cook with a lot of salt. So I get to taste the raw nature of these nut milks and seed milks. And yeah, I get to taste the essence of them. And sometimes some people I know roast their nuts and seeds so it can bring out a more robust flavor of milk once they it's been sprouted or soaked. Then they may roast it to bring out more of the flavor in the milks. I didn't roast mine, I left mine raw, which is what I like. And I'm not saying that I won't roast it in the future, but right now the raw form is fine with me. And yeah, so I just want to come in and share some of that with y'all. And most of these milks I use the same ratio. It's like we're not. I can't say with the seeds. 1/4 cup of seeds I use, and then I use 2 cups of water. You can use less depending on how thick you want your milk to be. Now I use 1 cup of black walnuts, and I use 1 cup of pecans, and I use 2 cups of milk with them both. And as you can see by the differences in the back, there's more liquid in the walnut milk than it is in the pecans because, like I said, for some reason the pecans, probably because they had more meat too, because the black walnuts don't yield much meat, so per cup, I probably had more meat in the pecans than I did in the black walnuts, even though they were still measured as a cup. Y'all follow me? So it came out, the pecans came out a little thicker, and I could use more water if I want to. Another thing about the thickness of these milks, or the creaminess of these milks, is that when I bake with my nut seeds or my nut butter milks, you can tell by when I make, I'm going back to my biscuits, y'all. I've been into the biscuits lately. So when I said a ratio, I use apple cider vinegar to add to my milk to try to give it a consistency or give it a false creation of buttermilk. So, but one thing I noticed is that if you have a milk like rice milk or hemp seed milk, that is a very liquidy milk, then once you add your vinegar to the milk, you won't get a buttermilk consistency, which means that it won't turn like thick. It won't become thick. But I noticed that when I have baked with the thicker milks, nut milks, like the walnut milks, or I can say almond milk to a degree also is not that thick. So using the walnut milk, not these black walnuts, but the regular walnuts, or the English nuts, or what they call Persian nuts, because that milk is a little thicker, you will get a consistency that is thicker when you add vinegar to it. It will become more thicker like a buttermilk. And the same thing will happen also with the Brazil nut milk, which I've also did to make biscuits and bake also, and also as well as the pumpkin seeds. You will get more of a thicker consistency when you add the vinegar to those. So just a FYI for y'all, a little tidbit for y'all, for those who don't know and who may want to try it, or those who may say, ew, and say no thank you. But it's to give that buttermilk flavor, a sourness to the milk is the reason why you add the apple cider vinegar to it. And so y'all, if y'all enjoyed this here and I put a smile on your face and in your heart, and y'all can go look up the the benefits of each one of these seed nuts and the nuts themselves, because I have in my some of my Just Spontaneous Meal playlists, I do put down some of the benefits, okay, and most of them. I always try to leave a link below so y'all can find out, or go link on and see where the nutrition values are coming from, because each one's going to be different. One thing I like about DIYs, okay, is that rather than me being told what's in something and what something does, I like to see if I can see it for myself. Okay? So now when I do it, I can say, oh, this is what the outcome is, rather than reading it in the book, or someone telling me, well, this is what it has in it, or this is what it does. I like to see what it does myself, when I can, and if it's available to me. And that's a great thing of learning, about, and also getting back in touch with the natural state of things, and being our own, as you would have it, our own scientists, our own experimenters, learning about how things work in life. And, you know, yeah, rather than always being told what's in something and what's not. And we just say, okay, and repeat things without even really knowing, the information behind what we're given, where it's coming from. Because some things that I've learned and I did on the internet, and I saw that a lot of stuff that I was looking at, some of the things were in contrast to each other, which means they didn't match up. They contradict each other sometimes. Some say, well, this is good for this, and the other one says, well, the same thing said, well, no, it's not good for that. So, okay, well, which one is it? As I did with ascorbic acid and citric acid on another video. So, yeah. So it's good to sometimes, if you can, do some of these things for yourself. And so you won't be confused as to what's going on and what you're being told. So, like I said, if I put a smile on your face and in your heart, please do the same. And if you are so inclined, you can share out the video to those of others who you may think may like it. You can like the video. Okay, you can also become a supporter under the guise of subscription. And you can also put a comment. Let me know your thoughts if you so choose to, because you don't have to be here, right? One more thing before I go. The black sesame seed reminds me of the black walnut oil I made the other day. Oh, well, not the other day, last month. You see, it's almost the same color. Beautiful color. And this color came from the green skins of the black walnut. But I'm comparing this to the black sesame seeds. This is the nut and the seed. Yeah, beautiful colors. I love these colors. So, yeah, y'all, it's just so similar how things are and how beautiful they are. And, yeah, enough, right? So, again, if you enjoyed the video, do what you do. And with that said, enjoy the rest of your day, evening, depending on where you are in the world, and please stay tuned.